Hey, what's going on everyone? Today we are taking a look at another headset certified for Microsoft Teams, the Jabra Evolve2 75. In this video, we're going to be unboxing the device. We'll take a look at all of its features and do a device overview of it. We'll try it on for look and feel. We'll also, of course, do a demo of recording audio through the headset so you get a sense of what it sounds like as the remote participant. And of course, we'll show its Microsoft Teams integration points in a demo as well. Before we get into all that, please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already, and then turn on notifications because I'm going to come out with a whole bunch of other really cool content, and you're going to want to stay in the know. And also, throw a like on the video if you like it, or even if you don't like it, I'd still appreciate the like, but it's totally up to you. And then, of course, splash it all around your social media accounts. Sharing is caring. Okay, with all that, let's get to the content. Okay, before we pull these things out of their box, let's take a look at the box itself. Jabra obviously puts some time and effort into their packaging here. Right at the bottom, we've got some details, really good stuff to know. Jabra's advanced active noise canceling capability built in, 8 microphone array for crystal clear calls, and then discrete hideaway boom arm. This is a unique design, something new to me anyway, and we'll take a look at how that looks with the arm tucked away as well as extended. Coming over to the side, a few more details. Improved comfort with the dual foam tech, up to 36 hours of battery time, 40mm speakers for your immersive music, of course, as mentioned, certified for Microsoft Teams. The busylight, visible from all angles so people know whether you're on a call or not, and up to 30 meters in wireless range. Last thing I'll point out, aside from, again, certified for Microsoft Teams, Alexa capabilities built in, fast pair, made for the iPhone, and of course to manage the headset, Jabra says to download the Jabra Sound Plus app so we can enable additional features. To open the box, this upper part is like a sleeve. It will simply slide off. We've got a few more details here about getting started. We obviously, like I just said, the download for the Sound Plus app or Jabra Direct, which we've got on a laptop. We can use the apps to personalize our calling and music experiences. We can update the app there, and then of course we can register for 20% off the next Jabra purchase if you haven't already done so with a previous product. And with that, we'll use this little hole here to pull the top open. We'll slide this over, and we get our instructions all printed on the inside of the box itself. So this kind of gives us our little bit tour that we're going to go over on the device, but in case you want to take a glance at that or know what to reference when you're opening up your own box, this is where you can go to kind of re-reference if you forgot where a button is, what it does, etc. Coming back over to the other side, we've got our cloth pouch branded with the Jabra logo right up front. And with that out of the way, we've got the safety information and warranty paperwork at the very bottom. Now the cloth travel case is equipped with a zipper at the top, so the upper half will unzip. And once you do that, you get access to the headset right there in the center. And then, of course, our Bluetooth dongle has its own little pouch right at the very top. Pulling that out, coming in for a closer look, you can see that its shape is a little different from some others, and it's got the Jabra logo. It's also a USB-A Bluetooth dongle. Turning our dongle to the pouch, we can pull our headset out, and that is the Evolve2 75 first look. We'll get into that in just a second here. The other thing we'll find inside of our pouch is the charging cable. So USB-A on one side and then a USB-C connection at the bottom there. Sliding this plastic off, we can get a closer look. USB-C going into the headset, USB-A to plug into the laptop so we can charge it. Optionally, the headset has these two little metal prongs that will allow you to wirelessly charge the headset if you get the optional wireless charging pad that can plug into your laptop. Before we dig into the features, there's a little bit more protective materials to take off the edges here. We'll gently pull them off. It is on both sides. Taking a look at the very bottom, we've got our power button as well as Bluetooth. So we can turn it on as well as hold it down so that it can pair with your mobile device. If we turn it on, we'll also be able to connect it to the Bluetooth dongle that we would plug into our laptop. Right below our Bluetooth button, we've got that USB-C port for charging the device. And right above it, we've got a button that will allow us to turn active noise canceling on or off by holding. Coming over to the other earpiece, you can see that we've got the Microsoft Teams button on the outer edge. This will allow us to bring the Microsoft Teams client to the forefront of our screen or answer or hang up a call. We can also answer a call by extending the boom mic. Again, a unique design, at least as far as devices that I have taken a look at. We extend this out to answer or unmute if we're already on a call, and by putting it back in, it will snap into place. You can hear that click, and it will allow us to be muted. At the bottom of the boom mic, you will notice another little button. This will activate your voice assistant if you are using that. On the same earpiece that we have our Microsoft Teams button on, you'll notice that we've got our volume up and down right here, as well as a play pause button right there. The up and down can also be previous or next track for our media. For wearing the device, the comfort and size is important. If you need a little extra headroom, you will simply pull each end out to get the desired head space. And of course, they slide right back in, nice and easy. As mentioned, Jabra has built in improved dual foam technology, so you've got a good, ample, thick amount of foam built in through the headband up top. And then on the ear muffs themselves, there's quite a bit of foam in here to give a nice cushiony feel. These are a little bit bigger, wider than the 65s, so they'll give a little more ear coverage, helping out with that active noise cancellation a little bit. And with that, let's see what they look like on the head as worn by yours truly. Obviously, there is a front and back to the headset because you got the boom mic that will lower in one position. So we've lowered it in this position here. That'll be our Microsoft Teams button on this side. And then we can give ourselves as much room as we need. Just pull the earmuffs down a little bit to where they are fitting comfortably over the ears. And this is a pretty light feel, honestly. You do not feel like you're being squeezed from the sides. It doesn't feel like it's sitting heavy on top of the head. That extra improved foam is really working and doing its job. So there you are. This is what they look like as worn by me. Of course, it may look a lot better if it's worn by you or pretty much anyone else. Boom mic, this will answer your call and mute it if you put it back up. You're now muted, and this is what it would look like if you're just listening to music as well. Maybe you're your developer getting into your groove. You don't need that boom mic extended, so here's that look as well.
Okay, right now we are recording our screen. We are looking at the Jabra Direct software. I'm using a Panacast 20 from Jabra for the camera, and we're using our built-in mics on this laptop. This is a Alienware laptop, so the mics are probably pretty decent, but I'll let you compare that with what it sounds like to record through the Evolve2 75 in just a moment. As you can see in the Jabra Direct software, we do not see the headset in there. I have the headset with USB plugged in, so we're going to go ahead and plug that into the laptop now. And with that, we should see it pop into the software pretty soon. There it is. On the bottom, you can see that we are charging. We've got a little red dot down there. I think that's coming through on the camera. And now we'll click on the Evolve2 75 and take a look at the settings available. So we see that Microsoft Teams is up on the device, so it is ready for Microsoft Teams. That's cool. We'll go over to audio, and we got a bunch of different audio settings in here. You can mess with this and tweak it and change it if you know what you're doing and are brave. I'm not, but if you do mess around and don't like what it sounds like, just hit the restore button. We'll close that and we'll go over to settings. First thing here, we've got answer call by rotating boom arm. So that means the boom arm can be used to answer your calls. Like I said earlier, that's on by default. I'm going to leave that on. And then do we want the boom arm to mute when it is raised and lowered? Yes, we do. Handy feature. Also, we'll leave that alone. Boom arm guidance. So we can choose from tone guidance, voice guidance, or no guidance. The audio announcements can be either voice, tones, or off. So, you know, what you hear in your ear as you're getting different things prompted. Audio protection. This is pretty cool. Select to automatically adjust the volume level in the headset to limit your daily exposure to excessive audio volume. So protecting your hearing, something that Jabra and its parent company GN is known for, protecting hearing and devices to aid in hearing. You've got the basic peak stop protection. There's IntelliTone average daily audio exposure and Australian acoustic safety guideline as well for a more regionalized approach. I'm going to leave it at default, assuming it'll do a good job protecting my hearing with that. Auto reject call. So when that's enabled, the headset's automatically going to reject an incoming call if you're busy on another call. It does a little bit of the work for you there. That's off by default, which means we'll get notified when a call is coming in. Auto sleep. So when do you want the device to auto sleep? We got 8 hours here. You can obviously set that down a lot lower or turn it off for never. Of course, you don't want to do that from a battery perspective, but it's an option. Button sounds, when that's enabled, sounds are going to be played on the headset, actions and status. We'll leave that on. And we can give it a unique name here too. I think this is a pretty good name. I'm not going to have any other Evolve2 75 headsets on my laptop, so that should be pretty descriptive. Do we want to use the busylight? Yes, we definitely do. We like the idea of there being an LED status indicator showing whether we're in a call or not, so that people in an open office or even at home with kids and family, they can see if you're on a call when they're approaching you. And then sound modes for active noise canceling reduces the level of environment noise reaching your ears, blah, blah, blah. Right now it's off. Do we want hear through to be there where it's surroundings only, or hear through for music and surroundings, or do we want active noise canceling? I'm going to choose active noise canceling because I think that's a phenomenal feature, and I want that to be there. All kinds of environments, especially if you're traveling in airports, ANC comes in handy a lot. A mute reminder tone. Do we want to be reminded if we're on mute? Now, Teams will do that for us in the app, but it's also good to get that audible cue. I'm going to turn that on. It's off by default, so we'll turn that one on. Pairing list, we can delete a device from the pairing list. On-head detection, so detect when placed on head and remove from head. So certain settings may be tied to it being active or not active. It can detect when you're actually kind of pulling it apart of it and putting it on and wearing it. That is a pretty cool feature. It's on by default. I'm going to leave it there. That little bit of AI built in can go a long way for certain things that you don't want to have to think about as you're doing your daily job. Auto resume audio by motion detection, on by default. Mute call by on-ear detection. That's off by default. So again, this is detecting that it's on your ear. Ear cup microphones. So this is going to enable you to have the boom arm up while on a call, which means the microphones built into the ear cups will still allow you to be speaking and be heard with the boom mic up. If that's going to be your mode of operation, I would recommend that you make that a pretty standard thing, because it can get pretty confusing switching back and forth between that being the case or not being the case. You can see it's off by default. Maybe some people don't want that to be the mute function. They want to use the button for that. So you can change that, but I like the idea of unmuted with the boom mic down, muted with the boom mic up. Side tone, on or off. Side tone level, you've got 0 decibels, but you can obviously change that in both directions. Tone setting, this enables you to adjust the headset sound to suit your personal preference or needs. It's at normal, but you can set it to bass or treble. And then firmware upgrade lock. Enable the firmware upgrade lock to prevent firmware updates. That's off by default. Obviously, they want you to update the device if new updates come out. I would recommend updating as well, because maybe there's bug fixes, maybe there's improvements. You want those firmware upgrades to come through, so I'm going to leave that off. And then we go over to our product information. We can see that we have our voice announcements in English. We got the firmware version at 1.7.4, and then our part number. We've got that there as well. And we can reset everything if we would like to. Now, if we go back out to our main screen here and we go to updates, we'll see what is actually available for updating. We can see that we're up to date on the Panicast 20. We're up to date on our Evolve2 75, so no updates are available, but here is where you would click that and we'd have an Update Now button, just like you see for the software down here. I'm not going to update the software right now because we're making a video about the headset. I'll just say check for updates just because, but it comes back since we just checked and we're all good. So that's how you would check for updates. That's how you would manage your device. And with that, let's go ahead and demo the Microsoft Teams integration and then record through the headset so you get a sense of what that sounds like compared to what you're hearing through the default microphones in the system. All right, now I just plugged in the USB dongle for the headset, and that has picked up that we have an update for the dongle, that Jabra Link 380. So we'll say update there because it's automatically going to do it in 4 minutes and 20 seconds anyway. And as it's updating, we're going to go over to the Microsoft Teams client. And before we use the Teams integration on our Teams client, and by the way, let's flip this around, take a look at the status, LED status indicator on both sides. Shows we are connected to Microsoft Teams. It's got that purple color. We'll go over to our settings up here. We'll say 3 dots, settings, and devices. And we're going to change this to the Jabra Link 380. So now it's going to be using the headset for our speakers and microphone. With that, we will minimize that screen. So Teams is now minimized. I'm going to put the headset on, and we will demonstrate that if I push the Microsoft Teams button here on the side, it brings our Microsoft Teams client to the forefront. So that's a little bit of the Microsoft Teams integration. Push that button, and it will either answer an incoming call, hang up that call, or bring the Teams client up if it's not already up. Now, if we open up a meeting, we're still updating the Bluetooth dongle, so we'll let that finish doing its thing. I'm not going to turn the video on here because you already see me on video for this recording. We've got the Jabra Link 380 automatically selected. We'll say join now. And it just said lower microphone to unmute. So we can see that I'm muted in the call because of that Teams integration. So if I lower my microphone, I just heard it say unmuted. We can see I'm unmuted in the meeting. Pretty cool stuff. Now I'm going to raise it again, and we go back to being muted. So we can answer or hang up a call with the Teams headset. I'll go ahead and push the Teams button one more time. And it hangs up our call. So Teams integration points, answering up a call with the Teams button pressing once. If your Teams client is not already up on the screen, press that Teams button and it will bring the client to the screen. Coming back over to our Jabra Direct software, the Jabra Link 380 has been updated. We can now see everything is up to date. So we're going to go ahead and start this recording again using the Jabra headset to record my audio. Okay, before we start this next recording, I've got the Camtasia little recorder software up. We're not going to capture the screen this time. We are going to use my video, and we can see that we're not using the integrated webcam. We're using our Panacast 20, and on our microphone, we're using just the basic microphone array that is built in. We want to select this microphone headset, the Jabra Link 380. And now it's going to use the microphone here to record audio. So you just heard a moment ago what my audio sounded like when I was recording through the laptop mics. Right now you're just hearing me record through my phone that is pointed at the screen. Let's go ahead and start the recording, and you'll hear the difference in audio as I'm recording through the microphone on the headset. So there you go. You are now hearing me record audio into this Camtasia recording using the microphone, the boom arm microphone on my Jabra Evolve2 75 headset. So that's what it sounds like. That's the difference. Our video is through the Panacast 20 from Jabra. Audio is coming through the boom microphone. Now I'm going to mute myself by putting this mic up while I keep talking. And again, that's just a demo of the mute-unmute functionality that we can control through the Jabra Direct settings. And this is a demo of what it sounds like to record your audio through the boom arm microphone 8 mic array on the headset itself.
Well, there you have it, the Jabra Evolve2 75 headset, certified for Microsoft Teams. Hope you found this device overview and demo video incredibly helpful, and if you did, please share it all over social media, like the video down below, hit the subscribe button down below if you are not already. Don't forget to turn on notifications because, hey, I come out with a whole bunch of other new content and you want to be sure not to miss out, right? Right. Thanks again for tuning in, and I hope we'll see you back here for the next device overview video.